up in a Christian home, went to church, ate, slept, and breathed it pretty much Monday through Friday. I went to a Christian school. But in all of that, I never met Jesus, and I never made the connection. I never believed it was really true, everything that I was taught. You know, years later, you know, of doing the whole worldly thing that half the other people that I know did, you know, the whole relationships and drugs and partying and all that stuff, in the end left me empty and hopeless, just like everyone else is that goes through that, even if they won't admit it. It's true. You end up hopeless, and you end up feeling like nothing. September 13th, 2001. I remember it so vividly. I woke up in my apartment, sat down on the windowsill and lit up a cigarette. The news was on, and the whole Twin Towers attack, September 11th, had happened 2 days before, so it was fresh, and you know, the news, that's all that was on TV. And feeling just overwhelming hopelessness in my situation that I was in. Just kind of the whole last month of my life was just spilling out. Just my whole world that I had built for myself was just caving in around me. And I remember sitting there and just beginning to, tears welled up in my eyes, and just this feeling of total loss and hopelessness. And I think the Twin Tower attacks was kind of the catalyst, the final straw, so to speak, that just, you know, rocked my world and saying, what is even going on? What is life about? This world that I've built for myself, and in the middle of it, I'm completely hopeless. I called up my friend that had gotten saved a couple years earlier, and he didn't answer, so I left a message and said, hey Eric, this is John. This sounds weird, but I gotta work tonight, but if you don't mind, if you have time, I really want to read a Bible. Could you drop me off a Bible? And so lo and behold, after work that night, I got home, and in my mailbox there was a Bible. And so I grabbed it, I went up into my apartment and into my room, got straight in bed, and opened up to Matthew, the first book in the New Testament. And I started reading it, and by the very end, I read it beginning to end, and by the end, it was like a veil came off my eyes, and I had met Jesus Christ. And at that moment, I asked Jesus to come into my heart and just take over my life, because I was out of control, and everything that I thought I could do just came, you know, had come to nothing else. So I said, Jesus, I can't do this on my own. You have to do everything. You have to take over and take control. And I'll never forget that feeling when he came in, and just, I started sobbing, and at first it was guilt of everything that I had done, you know, and just that feeling that I was the one that crucified him. It was my fault that he had to die, but then that, you know, Jesus let me go through that emotion of you know, feeling incredible guilt, but then it just turned to tears of joy and freedom, and feeling the weight of hopelessness fall off, and realizing that I was starting something new. I'm a new person. I'm not the same person I was back then, and I knew it in an instant. I was a new person.